School shooting, authorities racing to the scene in Arlington, Texas, outside Dallas. This time at Timberview High School, the gunfire ringing out early this morning. One of the victims shot a young English teacher. He is 25 years old. Tonight, he's in the hospital. A 15-year-old in the hospital, too, who had been in critical condition, now recovering in the ICU. Word of an active shooter reaching police just after 9 this morning. Armed officers running inside. The suspect quickly identified as an 18-year-old student at the school, fleeing in a car, triggering a massive hunt and a warning that he was armed and dangerous. Students and teachers barricading themselves with doors, the chairs and desks. And behind those doors, huddling there in the dark. Outside, a massive law enforcement response securing the school, getting the injured medical help. Law enforcement rushing to his home nearby. They did not find him there. Tonight, after searching for hours, the gunman turning himself in, and what we've now learned. ABC's Marcus Moore leading us off here from Texas tonight.
Tonight, a shooting at this Arlington, Texas high school, leaving 4 people hurt.
This is not a random act of violence. This is not somebody attacking our schools.
Officials saying it all started around 9:15 this morning. Authorities now reviewing videos posted to social media appearing to show a fight.
We believe right now, preliminary, that it was a student that got into a fight and drew a weapon.
All you hear is pop, pop, pop. Like 6 shots, 6, 7 shots back to back.
This is something you all have done drills on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we do drills on it all the time, so we knew what to do. Once we heard lockdown, because usually they let us know it's a drill. But they said lockdown, so we knew it was in our drill.
Police identifying the suspect as 18-year-old Timothy George Simpkins, a Timberview High School student who turned himself in after an hours-long manhunt. Students shelled. Teacher Dale Topham was just down the hall with his students, and together they barricaded the door.
When they realized it was shooting, there was no hesitation, no confusion, no chaos. They sprang into action.
One 25-year-old teacher and 3 teenage students were wounded during the shooting. 3 of them taken to the hospital and expected to be okay. As an all-out manhunt for Simpkins began, law enforcement swarming his house with guns drawn. But he wasn't there. Officials out with a warning.
This person is considered to be armed and dangerous.
As the lockdown was lifted at the high school, a steady stream of students walking out in a single file. And a now familiar scene tonight. Worried parents waiting to be reunited with their children. This is the 5th school shooting in the past week. This mom saying that she and her son had discussed school shootings and prepared for this day.
To know that the shooting was right next to his class, bullets fly everywhere.
And Marcus Moore with us tonight from outside at Arlington High School. And Marcus, no word on a motive yet?
David, no word from authorities on a motive, but they say a possible weapon, a .45 caliber handgun, was found in the street about 2 miles from here. And Simpkins has been charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and he's expected to go before a judge tonight. David.
Marcus Moore leading us off tonight from Arlington. Marcus.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC.
What do you guys think about this? A school shooting. All in regards of saying somebody's been bullied. Hold on, let me see something real quick. Let me make sure we on the up and up. Let's make sure we on the up and up. Make sure we good. Okay, I think we good. Let's have this conversation. Let's do this. Okay. First of all, when we talk about school shootings and we talk about why these things happen, is this just a random occurrence? Is this somebody going crazy? Somebody that lost their mind? Like, what's happening? What's going on? Now, in this case right here, we're talking about a guy that says, you know what, I needed protection. The teachers can't protect me. The principal can't protect me. My parents can't protect me. I'm going to have to take matters into my own hands. How many people feel like a lot of children out now today are taking matters into their own hand? They're saying, I have to do something because nobody else will help me. I'm kind of understanding, especially here in Texas or whatever case be, that is something that is being promoted. You know, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take matters into my own hands because nobody else will step in. There are no adults that will adult up. Here it is. You have a young man that says, you know what? You know, I have a video, on social media that is seeing me getting bullied on a regular basis. Imagine if this was your son, this was your daughter, your child in school. You're sending them there to learn. You're providing everything you need to provide except protection. Hold on, wait, don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't get mad now. J-Lo and media are back in the building. I just wanted to know right now, like with the situation in regards to children getting bullied, these shootings that's going on by children saying, you know what, I have to do something to protect myself because my parents ain't doing it, the principal ain't doing it, the teachers ain't doing it. I have to do something. Imagine if your child is that afraid. Imagine says, you know what, man, listen, it's 3 of them, it's 2 of them, it's 1 of them, and I need to do something it's going to be me or them. It's going to be their life or my life. I wonder how many children right now have to make those type of decisions. It's either me or you. It's either me or you. Now, I didn't try to be nice about it. I didn't try to walk away. I didn't try to Martin Luther King it. I didn't try to turn the other cheek. But I think now it means by any means necessary. I got a Malcolm X it. I couldn't find the words to appease to your nicer side. I couldn't just give you my lunch money. I couldn't just give you whatever it is that I had in reference to products or services. So now I have to take matters into a different direction. Can you imagine your teenager saying, I need to protect myself at all costs? In high school, in middle school. Come on, social media bullying is not a thing of the past. We see it all the time here on many platforms, numerous platforms, where people feel like, well, I can bully you. Now let's take that same energy and put that into our elementary schools and middle schools and high schools. Imagine the type of mental trauma, emotional trauma, and physical trauma that's happening with these young kids. Now, you have a young man who is obviously not trained with a weapon, who takes a weapon to school and says, I am going to now shoot people that have been pushing me around, people that have been taking something from me, people that have made me feel lesser than. Well, what happens now, y'all? This young man was held on a $75,000 bond, I believe. He was bailed out by a local Dallas rapper who paid for lawyer. Do you feel like this young man was justified? Do you feel like, this young man should have taken matters into his own hands? Do you feel like he did what he needed to do? I'm listening to some content creators, and they are on this binge of, hey, he had to do what he needed to do. Now, I may piss some people off with this commentary. Hey, I get it, because that's what I do. But the fact of the matter is, I don't believe that that's what he needed to do. That you put others in danger that had nothing to do with the situation. You're not trained on a weapon. Hell, you could have told those guys, hey, meet me at the school. Meet me at the McDonald's on 45th. In the back, next to the dumpsters. But you take it into school, so my thought process is, okay, well, you want people to see. See, here's the thing. Sometimes when you do stuff in public, well, you want the reaction. You know what I'm saying? When somebody disrespects you in public, you want the reaction. No. You curse me out at Denny's in public. I want you to apologize in public. No. You curse me out at Walmart. I want you to apologize at Walmart. Did this young man feel like you put hands, feet, and elbows on me in public? I want the reaction to be public. I want you with this. I want this public to cause you embarrassment. I want to cause you harm, cause you the same degradation that you caused me. So this young man decided, you know what, I'm going to take my own hands. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. J.Lo Rich says the children today aren't with the ish. For those people that don't know what the ish is, that means about that life. Them games. They're not with the foolery. Huh? That's why so much of this keeps happening. They have easier access to the guns. Of course, yes, J.Lo Rich, you are exactly right. You are exactly right. And for those people that grew up like in the Baltimore area, California, you know, any predominantly area populated with crime, you know what I'm saying? That is known and showcased that they're about that life. The population for criminal activity for some is high. I get it. But is this one of those situations where gun violence was the answer to physical violence? Imagine how many ass whippings you have to take in order to say, you know what, you're not about to put your hands on me no more. A lot of people say, well, he can plead temporary insanity. And I said, well, I don't think so. I see if he stumbled on the gun. There was a gun in the classroom. The teacher had a gun. And he grabbed the gun and said, oh, not today. Honey boo boo, sugar lip, you're not going to put your hands on me today. I got on a good shirt. You're not going to mess up my good shirt. I got a test to take in 9th period. You ain't going to mess up my brain. And then he grabbed the gun and went pow, pow. I get it. But when you deliberately, methodically sit down and say, I'm going to take a weapon to school and use said weapon, ladies and gentlemen, that is called premeditated. You thought about it. You had time to do something else. Not go to school that day. You know, Ferris Bueller. You had time to hit that. You had time to say, you know what, let me change my course of action. But here's the thought process. And I think J.Lo Rich was saying something that I definitely agree with. And I definitely agree with Meaty when he makes the statement right here. What happened now is that he will have to deal with the consequences of his actions. There you go. Bingo. But see, another thing is this. I feel like, are we teaching our youth to think? Do they have good examples of adults thinking through problems, having the tough conversation and sitting down and providing reasonable solutions in a timely fashion? A lot of times we come back and it's, well, we're going to think about it after the action is done. We're going to think about it after we shoot the club up. We're going to think about it, after, we join the gang. We're going to think about the consequences of our actions after the fact. There's not a lot of thought process on what should we do before shit goes left, before shit hits the fan. And I think that's what this conversation is about, which is the reason why I wanted to have it. What do we do before shit hits the fan? What do we do before we pour fuel on the fire? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some people in here. We need to have this conversation. We talk about the school shooting. Oh, it must have been something mentally wrong with this guy. It must have been, he must have was having problems at home. And maybe it's not none of that. Maybe it's, I just don't want to take any more ass whoopings. I don't want to be embarrassed. Be a TikTok meme. I don't want to be on YouTube in a video saying, whoa, look at this. I don't want to go viral getting my ass kicked. I gotta do something. The streets demand justice. So now I got to bust a move. The issue, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you have young people that don't think, because the older people around them that don't think, promote a generational curse of non-thinkers, just reactors and responders. I just had a great conversation with my boy Meaty, who pulled up, kind of broke down the synopsis of, Wilder and how great he was in the boxing thing, but, how just being a brawler may not be enough. My thought process is being a non-thinker, being someone that is reactionary to everything, it may not be enough. It may not be enough. What happens when you have to sit in front of the judge and the defense attorney has to say to the jury, hey, he was getting his ass kicked. It's only right that he defended himself. Yes, we know it was other kids in the school, but so what? We know we know there were teachers that tried to help him. We know it, so what? We know that there's a mother and a father involved, and they did everything they could. They complained to school. They said, look, we need you to make sure our children are safe. They went to the school board and said, listen, if you don't do something about it, we might have to do something about it. A room of non-thinkers, a room of reactionary people. I'm going to react to violence with violence. Does this happen in private schools? Does this happen in schools with a high academic level? Or does it happen in schools predominantly with minorities? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Should we be teaching how to fight back physically? What about emotionally? That's a conversation. Are we teaching our children how to fight? Not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. Are we teaching them how to fight back financially and spiritually? Well, let's break those things down. I believe that if you're getting bullied, I don't think this is a situation you could just pray away. Financially, okay, well, let's think about that. Okay, we have money for lawyers just in case some shit happens. Okay, but mentally and emotionally, hey, when do we know when to react? Miss Curley, how do we know when to react? How do we know where, you know what, if you do this level of violence, your violence is at a level 2. How do we know how much violence needs to be matched? Like, who breaks that down for you? You smack me, I chop your hand off. You step on my toe, I run into your house with a car. Like, how do we know what's equal violence? Because when it comes down to this, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it's going to come down to. He beat me up. He drugged me all around the classroom. I went and got a to even out the score. I showed him that I was a savage, that I was about that life, that I was with the shot. Come on, J-Lo Rich. I was with the shot. He showed that he was about that life. He pulled a gun out and said, want some of this. Meet me at homeroom. So it gets to popping, shooting up the school, and now people are on the manhunt. In the state of Texas, I'm telling you, with guns, everybody got a gun. The kids at daycare got guns. I'm joking about the guns at daycare, y'all. Ricky Manor. Now let me drop this link and see if I can pull some people up in here so we can have this conversation. Let me see. I'm gonna try. Hopefully the audio is a little bit better this time. If it's not, then it is what it is. Let me see. I'm gonna try to do this real quick and see if it works. Give me a second. But yeah, I think this is a situation. It's sad. I think it's unfortunate that we're not teaching our children how to fight back mentally and emotionally. We're teaching them how to fight back physically, and we're telling them, pick up some and bust them in the head. If they out of line, I gotta say this, salute. But if they out of line, we got to show them that we're not playing. And I think that's the issue. The issue is that when you have mentally unstable people, you have non-thinkers that are just reactionary people, and pass that trait to their children or any children that's around that they can affect. And they affect those children in such a way that they say, well, if something happens, I am in a position that I don't have to think. It's okay. I can act like a jackass for simple things. Well, if if the cops stop me and they ask me for my insurance, how dare I? How dare you? Who do you think you're talking to? Well, we're gonna turn this traffic stop, right, into a big thing. We're gonna start moving around sporadically. We're gonna start screaming and yelling. We're gonna start saying, "Oh hell no! You don't know what block I'm from." All because of parents who didn't teach your children how to stay calm under strenuous conditions. Come on, you know what I'm about to do. You know what I do. We have not taught our kids how to handle pressures, how to handle stress. So therefore, every time something challenges them, they do one. They overreact or they run away. J-Lo Rich says they're not with us. They're not with us. But the issue is, it's not just the young people. It's some of these old people too. They can't have a conversation. They can't have a conversation. The second they have a conversation, oh, hell no. People think cursing empowers them. People think deflecting empowers them. People think by being more aggressive and loud empowers them, when simply it shows that you lack something. You lack the ability to have a conversation. You lack the ability for cognitive reasoning. You lack the ability to adult up. I'm just saying, it's difficult, y'all. It's very difficult. The fact of the matter is, our kids are under attack. And I'm not just saying by people who touch kids. They're under attack by parents who don't care to teach them balance. Can I talk to somebody in the back that don't care to teach them balance? I would show you that, but that video game will teach you that. I would show you that, but that reality show will teach you that. I would show you that, but the court system will teach you that. I would show you that, but the grandparents will teach you that. Me as a parent have no responsibility other than to make sure you eat something. I've done my job. I've done my job. Didn't I make sure the lights was on? Didn't I make sure that you had clothes to wear? The water was on. It was cold when it needed to be. It was warm when it needed. I did my job. You can't expect me to teach you everything. This young man went to the school and said, you know what? My parents ain't teach me everything. So I need to handle this on my own. I need to take matters into my own hands. You touch me, I shoot you. That's what this equals out to. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what lawyer he gets. I don't care if they resurrect Johnny Cochran. The fact of the matter is, this young man should have never been in a predicament where he felt it was necessary. It was a necessity to respond in such a manner. I don't care if you got to go get 3 of your cousins from Detroit, 4 of your uncles. I don't care. You bring them to the school. Now they go to the school. All your uncles are 35 plus, but now they in the 9th grade. They back in time. They back to the future. How do you mitigate violence? How do you teach your children how much violence is necessary? They hit you in the head with an algebra book. Should you tell your children to hit them back with a biology book? Or should you tell them to hit them with the whole damn book bag? What do you do? Where are these conversations being held at? Is it at church? I just want to know who's teaching who. Now, some of y'all are saying, oh, okay, tough love, I see where you coming from. And some of y'all saying, well, goddamn, bro, you want parents to be perfect. You want them to sit down and goddamn move the decimal to the right. Well, no, I don't want parents to be perfect people. There's no perfect people. When these things start to happen around you, when you start to see now development and they're into more, they're just getting more and more crazy, you must have family. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You family time. That means a time when you and there's no electronics around. Do you understand what I'm talking about? No electronics around. It's you and your children, you and your family members. It's you and your support system. It's y'all talk real life shit. J-Lo Rich, I'm with the shit. You're sitting down here. Let's talk about finances. Let's talk about goals. Let's talk about bullying. Let's just have topics. Everybody bring a topic. Every Friday night, whatever it is, we're going to sit down for about an hour, maybe even two, and we sit down and we're going to just talk. We're going to bring a topic to the conversation. And based on your life experience, institutional knowledge, your common sense, we're going to talk from the standpoint that we know. And everybody's going to add to the conversation. The issue is a lot of people are not having that. A lot of people don't care to. The last time you talk to your children, the only to your children is to disciplinary them. Show them a level of discipline. Take them, oh, well, I'm taking away your PlayStation. Huh? You can't go to that party. Huh? I'm not buying you no Jordans. It's not to talk about life. And if it is to talk about life, it's about that woman that dumps you, or that man that dumps you, or that no good father, or that no good mother. That's what we're talking to our kids about. We're talking about the other parent. We're talking about who we dated. Let's be real. Our conquest. How we gonna go get lit in the club? That's the conversation. Our kids watch us emulate everything on reality TV shows, do every TikTok challenge, and then we wonder why our kids act like, why adults act like kids. They're one and the same. You can't tell them apart. The only way to tell them apart is looking at their ID and birth certificate. Damn, I was 45. Shit, you look like that 15-year-old. You had on a jersey and do-rag and a cigarette. Your parents were saying, I didn't know y'all was the same. You look the same. I didn't know you wasn't the same age. You both talk. You both talk every time you talk. Everything is lit. Everything is we outside. I didn't know you was 45. I didn't know you had responsibilities and duties. I'm just saying. Are we teaching our children the right way? Are we teaching our children the right way? Are we having a conversation that needs to be had? Are we being those examples? That's the better question. Are we being those examples? Ms. Curlin says there need to be punishment for bullies as well. They tortured my daughter. If I didn't pull her out and get her counseling, she wouldn't be alive right now. They shut is serious. This shit is serious. Okay. First of all, you know, I had to deal with bullies when I was. moving around like I did, foster homes, juvenile detention. I had to deal with people who felt like they were tougher than me. I was the new guy. And I'm going to tell you guys how I dealt with it. Okay. Having people that don't know you, having people that just want to do you bodily harm or disrespect you or whatever case may be, you have to find a fire within yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear me. I understand that everybody's not fighters. I understand that everybody just doesn't have that fire. They don't have that burning desire to say, you know what, I'm going to defend myself. I want someone else to defend myself. But it's just like we give affirmation and validation to say, oh, especially to our daughters, you're beautiful, right? You're beautiful. You're amazing. That's the same affirmation and validation that we need to give to our children to say, you must defend yourself. This is not an option. And sometimes defending yourself is just simple words. Hey, leave me alone. And then show them what leave me alone. That means, hey, look, I'm not going to let you just put your hands on me or whatever. There are certain things that a lot of people tell, hey, kids don't snitch nowadays. That's just not what they do. That's just what they do. Host, please get rid of me because I'm unsubscribed. Okay, bye. We have to teach children and encourage children to feel validation, to feel like they can defend themselves in a reasonable manner. But a lot of people say, hey, the snitch thing, we ain't snitching. I don't care what, if you in elementary school, we just don't do that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Sometimes it is better, make it difficult for bullies. Make it difficult for bullies. Make it difficult for them. I don't think that we should make it easier for them. We should put people, if you say, okay, I'm going to bully you, I'm going to get everybody involved. Let's get the teachers involved. Let's get the parents involved. And then parents, don't just take it as a matter of, okay, well, that's just some child shit. They'll get over it. Well, obviously, when you get guns involved, it's no longer child shit. It's jail shit. It's illegal shit. It's a cause to take action shit. I really want our children to feel empowered. I want our men and women to feel empowered. This is not about color or race. This is about humans. This is about conversation. This is about men and women, communities and children doing what they need in order to be safe and empowered. If we don't have a conversation, if we're too scared to say, let's sit down and build, let's sit down and be better, I don't know I don't know who we're expecting to come save us. Salute, salute, salute. Welcome. I don't know who we're expecting to come save us. Who we're demanding to come and help us. And when I say us, I'm talking about us as people. Not we the people, us as people. This young man finds himself in a very unfortunate predicament. Now to fight for his life. Because here's the thing, God, can I say something that's gonna piss off? Can I say that? If what I'm gonna piss you off, I'm hoping it fire deep down inside. You couldn't beat the people up in high school. Who gonna save you? I want you guys to think about that shit. You got level 2 savages in high school. Can you imagine the level 16 savages in jail? I want you to look at this young man. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all think I'm playing with y'all. I'm not playing right now. This is what I do. I look at this young man. And look at the size of this guy. Of course, people say, size don't matter. It's the dog in the fight and the heart. And shut the hell up. I want you to look at this guy in the blue, who was the shooter, who got mollymopped and bullied in high school. What do you think is going to happen if this young man is found guilty and goes to prison? Don't get quiet now. Y'all was just buzzing in the chat. Don't get quiet now. What do you think is going to happen to this young man if you can't beat the bully up in school? What are you about to do? That means one or two things going to happen. This young man becomes a jail, or this young man becomes a girl in jail. Do you understand what I'm saying? He becomes a savage. He becomes from that right there. He becomes this guy, right? The outer lookings of. So from to this. But what happens when this happens? You're not as savage as you thought. Let's get to the conversation. This young man felt like he needed to do something because the adults around him would not do it in a timely fashion. That what was done, nobody had the intestinal fortitude or the thought process to fix the problem. I don't want to hear from the parents, oh, we complained over here, we complained over here. Bro, if you put your hands on my kids, wait a minute. Hold on now. What's the next step? To the teachers. I'm going to talk to the principal. I'm going to talk to the school board. I'm going to talk to the police department. Hell, I'm going to talk to other family members that may have kids in that school. We are going to provide a co-op, a support system. We're going to let you know that just because you're not in our home, we're not around you all the time, still have support. The issue is, just like most children that get violated and touched on, these books, your child feel isolated. Can I talk to the grown folks? They got your child to feel lonely, scared, alone, afraid. Point where they had to take matters into their own hands. Ricky saying, don't drop the soap. You're going to hell. You're going to hell, Ricky. Going to hell, Ricky. And gentlemen, this is a difficult conversation because it involves children and it involves a high level of violence. A lot of times, we don't look at the child themselves, the situation surrounding the child. And in this matter, I get it, but I think it's both the child or the children involved, but also the adults. You can't be too busy to the point where you're blinded. There is no way in hell that this young man should say, I've been getting my entire year and nobody